I was going to try to set this so it allowed you to upload it later. I'm not a professional at this, not like some people. Anyways, oh well. This live stream is going to be about absolutely nothing. And it's today, right? Why is my internet so horrible? Oh yeah, we're supposed to have, that's what they said. Still the flare. He's gonna the flare. Okay. So I am thinking about what I want to do with my channel other than to do just cat videos. Now I've been trying to figure out how to live stream from my USB camera that I have other than my phone. But my internet here is so stupid that doesn't even work. So I'm thinking of changing my channel. I don't know what to talk about. I was thinking that maybe I will go buy a truck or something and pull people, do off-road recovery, because that's huge, it's big. People are doing it. I watch off-road recovery videos every day. And, that's big money. You get a couple million subscribers, stuff like that. Or I was thinking, well, I could just do this like the monograph guy. I'll sit in front of I'll sit in my mother's single wide mobile home next to a white wall and do this. Yeah, that's like cool. Yeah. What does that guy say? Monograph guy is always talking. Yeah, you betcha, or something stupid like that. Anyway, this guy's a total idiot. He's all about trying to laugh at people on Bitcoin. I always love these people that just love it when people lose. It's like, why do you like it? Look. You're kind of dogging on regular everyday people. That's not a good thing. Now, if Elon Musk loses a couple million, whatever, who cares? But in reality, it's the stockholders that lose. So it's all rigged to kill the middle class. And by you constantly being one of these kind of people that just thinks that that's cool and funny, it just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe you've never had anything in your life and you've never lost anything, and that's why you're a dickweed. Of course, living in a single wide with your mom, I guess, is the way to go. So that's what I think of Monograph guy. I don't know why people think he's smart. He's made a lot of predictions that, well, they haven't come to pass. Matter of fact, he said a lot of things that haven't even happened. All these weird predictions. Oh, this is it, and that is what has come to pass? None of them. I mean, even my saying 3-4 years ago that you'd see people die on live TV, that came to pass. Of course, I was more talking about leaders, but I mean, for crying out loud, how many videos have come out last year showing people dying, right? Obviously, and they're keeling over dead. The videos all over the place. That's not what I was talking about, but that's what I saw in my brain, and that's what I shared with people back then. That's what I was saying. Anyway. Oh. My channel is live. Okay, good. Great. It looks like it's still going. I have very bad allergies, so I'm not stoned. have allergies. That's why I got to move out of here. I got to probably Arizona. Keep saying that. But here's the thing. I come back here and I just start working. I mean, you know, I get people needing stuff, and I did 2 jobs today. I got another job I got to finish up, and then I've got a re-roof job, and then I've got another job that I just probably got today. So it's like, you know, I've got enough work to keep me busy for a couple months here, but I got to get out of here. I don't have to get out of here, but I'd like to get out of here. So anyways, what do you think my new channel direction should go? I will say this. I did get an email today. I have to get back to him, but he's a radio host. And he does prog rock music. His name is Jason. And he does the midday and he does the midnight. And see, and that's when you want to be on the radio. You don't want to be on the radio during the day, you know. Nobody listens. You know, you want to be on the radio when people are going to sleep. They got the music on, they listen to the stuff, they're going to La La Land. Then they hear your song and go, yeah, I like this. And then they fall asleep and go, what was that band called, man? And then, you know, you just lost a fan. You know what I mean? I could talk about something that nobody cares about on this channel, probably, but what was it? Ken Tamplin with the Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy. The proof is in the singing. He posted a thing from FaithWire. This is some online FaithWire Christian organization, whatever. Who knows? I can read off what their latest things are that I should be reading that I don't care about. But this is another one I didn't care about. This is DC Talk guy. DC Talk Kevin Max is now evangelical. Yeah. I was an evangelist and now I'm an evangelical. Right? He's been progressing for decades, meaning he's moving away from his Christian faith for decades, even though he was part of a stupid Christian music thing back in the 90s, you know, when they started all this crap, which I knew half of it was just a bunch of bullshit anyways. And this guy said, Kevin Max of the popular Christian band DC Talk. They sucked, by the way. And they copied everything else. That's all the Christian rock guys do, is they copy secular guys. And they knew the secular market wouldn't accept them because, you know, they're just copying somebody else. So they go, oh, we're Christians. So then they just do the same thing. So anyways, he's been deconstructing his faith for decades. The band DC Talk that nobody gives a crap about. Neither do I. So here's another thing from FaithWire, is that they're talking about, Steven Crowder sues YouTube for silencing conservatives. This is the big one. Mercy Me, which one is that? Is that DC Talk song? Do you know he's come out and said that he's evangelical? He doesn't believe anything that he talked about? Just letting you know. I will post I'll post a link. You can read it yourself. Here you go. I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of these guys coming out now that say, "Oh, I never was a Christian," or "I've lost my faith," or something stupid like that. It's like, wait a minute. So you had the greatest thing known to man, and somehow you've lost that? It's like, you never had it, dude. to even know it, you never had it. It's kind of like it's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all. Because if you've never loved at all, you don't know what love is, right? So it's better to have lost. At least you know what it is. But that's losing something that you can lose. If you really do have this faith, you should. It's and even the love that you lost is still not lost because you still had the love, that was there. Anyways, I just find it interesting how your sins will find you out, as they say. You will be found out. You will be found out. So all these guys that have been, it's like Franklin Graham, right? If I go on my Twitter feed or my Facebook crap, let's see, what did I say on my I was talking about, what's up with that, Zoe, with these stupid pastors? Well, they weren't real to begin with, and look at all the people they deceived. Here's another one, too. This is Franklin Graham, jackass, coming out saying, well, I'll link it here. Let's see if I can link that here. I'm being like Monograph now. I just have to do this. Yes, you betcha. Yeah. Yeah. That guy's such a Monograph, such a dipweed. Everything he says is a bunch of crap. Almost just as bad as this is freaking Franklin Graham here. Jesus Christ uses power as the Son of God to bring healing to the people's bodies. And we as Christians want to follow his example by utilizing a product made by man, but not by God, to inject in our bodies. It's like, and Jesus said, I am the light, the way, the water of life, that whole thing. You moron. I'm making this prediction, but this is me. I came on this channel in the very beginning. One of the few things. One was when all this crap would happen at $72,000 per citizen. It was a national debt clock. And I think the 8th video or the 7th video that I ever did was saying when his dad, Franklin Graham, would die, Billy Graham, said he would die in February and it would be in the Winter Olympics. There you go. And that's what happened. So I want to say to this guy, you probably ain't going to end up dying this about the same time as your old man. Maybe even sooner. Anyways. Yeah, he is. He's promoting it, and I just don't get it. So many are. Ted Nugent came out. The guys from Psy guy from Duck Dynasty, they have all come out, and even the Duck Dynasty kid, the owner, and his wife came out and were all about get vaccinated and all this kind of crap. It's like, give me a break, dude. All of you guys are a bunch of sellouts. Why don't you just shut up? Why don't you let people decide on their own? That's a whole cult mentality. How come you're not drinking the Kool-Aid? It's really good, by the way. It's blue color. It's better be drinking the Kool-Aid. But I want red. Okay, well, we'll get you some. I mean, it's just like, oh, man. So I'm trying to think of what I should do with my channel, if anybody has an idea. Yeah, that could be true, because I think Revelation says let's open up the old Bible that everybody seems to hate. I'm an ex-evangelical now because I don't believe in. The Bible was written by other people. The Bible's been changed over the. I've heard it all, people. I've heard every freaking excuse for you not to use common sense. I mean, yeah, there's some things in there. If you read it wrong, you're not going to understand it. But you can also get common sense from God, and figure it out. Because God's common sense, He doesn't do anything. He didn't do anything that doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's just like it's common sense. Isn't like the talking about the seas? I think that's in chapter 6. You know. I think we're getting close to the chapter 6 because and with them, oh well, that's chapter 7. The fourth angel stands in the four corners of the earth. That's been my whole thing with the parable of the fig tree, with that fig tree falling in L.A. So I don't know where the third is, but it comes around here. Maybe it's in the chapter 8 or something. I don't know. Anyways, we're getting close. Ezekiel 5:12. I just went past Ezekiel. Man, I almost turned right to it. Yeah, 9:18. Oh, okay. You can't believe any of that stuff. You can't believe anything that you read, anyways, right? Just don't believe it. Just discard it. I mean, it's all, come on. Hey, what you need to do is you need to drink the Kool-Aid, put that chip in your brain, so that all the little satellites that Elon Musk, that guy that people seem to listen to, even though he's never really done anything in his life except take taxpayers' money and then create things. But anyways, take the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid down, and then put that little neurochip thing in your brain, and everything will be fine. Oh, I still don't believe that that's the mark. To be honest with you, I don't believe the jab is the mark. I don't believe any of that. I believe that just as God wants you to freely accept Him, it's the same way Satan wants to do too. And that's when you freely accept Satan over Christ and over God, then it's kind of like, okay, all right, that's what you want, go for it, but it doesn't help. Oh, there was another thing too. I need to go to Ken Tamplin's vocal training academy. He always posts some pretty cool stuff, and he's even reposted some of my stuff. So my hat's off to the dude. I don't think he would be a fan of my music, but shoot, where'd he go? Okay, I'm his friend on his regular page. He's got 2 pages. One from the Vocal Academy, and the other one is just his page. But he had a cool one about the Army having some technology where they can see right through walls. Of course, that's been out there for a while, but I find it interesting how things are progressing, right? And another thing too, now that I remember this, and I had a person who's been watching my videos that lives up out of Wisconsin, right? And in regards to my concept of water all the time, baptism in water. Now I just forgot what I was going to do because I just found this. AI will crush human intelligence. Where's that one where they see through? Where they see through walls. Anyways, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. I just found it. I'll post it. It's kind of an interesting article. Oh, okay. Now I remember with the chick from Wisconsin. Anyways, I was sharing a video. And so sometimes I will listen to my videos. Here's this one. Sometimes I re-listen to my videos, and there was May 14th. May 14th or whenever it was in 47 was. Why is this not loading? Oh, because it's too long. Crap. All right. Well, whatever. It's not letting me load that one. Anyways, but May 14th was the creation of Israel in 47, I think. 47, 48. Anyways, it's very interesting how all these things started happening around then. And I remember in the video I did, which I'll find that video and I'll post it so you don't think I'm lying to you. I say in there later on in my ramblings, because I tend to ramble a lot, I gave 3 dates. I said March 22nd, May 14th, and then Easter, whatever that was. And I just find that that's interesting that all this stuff happened in Israel around May 14th. Yeah, I've seen the magnet thing, but I think they did that with. I think that was happening with other stuff too, but who knows? Did ever see the baby food where they would empty the baby food out and then they get a magnet and they'd see all the metal in baby food? Remember that? They do anything that they can to try to kill people in reality. When I went to Russia, and I know I repeat myself all the time, but when I was selling my product in Russia, I had to go through some hardcore stuff just to get my product over there. My kid's been over there, and get a picture. I'll post this picture. My kid's been over there for like 2 months. I think he lost 20 pounds because they don't put crap in their food at all. He's in Uzbekistan right now. Where is it? You guys can check this out if you go on Facebook, Oops. Anyways, he's in Uzbekistan in some old truck or something. But over in Uzbekistan, they would never. I wonder if that's going to work. It might work for you. It may not. But anyways, he's sitting in this truck over there. But in Uzbekistan, in Russia in general, man, they got a thing called phytosanitary certificate, and it's almost impossible to be an American company to get a phytosanitary certificate. Almost zero. I will prove that to you here too, just with my, I was in Forbes magazine, and they did an article on it, on me, and had no idea how I got into Russia. What I was trying to explain to him is I had a phytosanitary certificate. So here's that. So I was in Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine. Matter of fact, it's an Entrepreneur Magazine centerfold about 4 months before I lost everything. Oh, did you? You did a video on that? What was that about? Put a link in the description and so I can watch it if you can find it. That would be cool. And they've been wanting to kill us for years. I mean, come on. They start with the young. It's kind of like this whole jab thing, in my opinion, is, is the ultimate abortion. If they can stop stop people from reproducing, then that's the best way to get their end result of their 500 million people that they want on the earth, or whatever it is on the Georgia Guidestones, which is always amazing to me how they want to take down these statues of so-called like General Lee and stuff like that, but they want to take down the Georgia Guidestones. And here's the thing, Millie, is that Millie Boomer's life, by the way. Anyways, I had watched a guy named Bald and Bankrupt, right? And he travels all over the world, which I'm trying to get my kid to do that, for crying out loud. He's in Uzbekistan. I said, hey, just film yourself going to some of the live markets and the foods and meeting people and talking to people, because he speaks Russian fluently and Uzbek probably fluently now too. So I said, just do some videos, do some of this kind of stuff, let people know what it's really like. But I watched the Bald and Bankrupt guy because he does this whole thing where he goes to former Soviet Union countries. Anyways, back in January of 2020, I think, supposedly he got, or maybe a little later, supposedly he got the virus, right? And one of the things and he deleted that video, but one of the things that he said is that his dick didn't work for like over a month or something like that. That's exactly what he said. He could not get an erection for like a couple months. And then he took down the video. So it was like, interesting. And then they come out with all this stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, it fits the agenda, kill off the population. Sometimes I've always thought, didn't the Bible talk about he knew you before the foundations of the earth, right? So if God knew you before the foundations of the earth, is there like a set number of souls that come through this earth or something? I know that might be a little weird, but now if that's the case, wouldn't it be that, of course, in the millennium, there are no births, right? Supposedly. It's what I've read. I could be wrong. But that would mean that all the souls that were appointed to this time would have to have gone through woman, right? So with this new virus, yeah, well, that was James Bond thing too. But the thing is that death by poison. It's a James Bond, Majesty's Secret Service, which I love James Bond because it always foretells certain aspects. It's like Skyfall was almost a perfect Bitcoin. If you look at all his servers and everything, it looked like he was a Bitcoin miner. Anyways, Skyfall was one of my favorite ones. The new ones, it was really good. But biblically speaking, if he knew you before the foundations of the earth, and let's say there's a set amount of souls that pass through this dispensation of time, would it be towards the end that you would see no more new births? Because there's no more. Just saying, just a thought. It's not a conclusive factual thing, but it's just something to think about. So they're doing everything they possibly can to bring forth these things. and bring forth their God and do all that kind of stuff. So it's amazing. I've got the worst allergies, so to the comments I'll get, I'm sure not from people watching now, but later it will be, dude, you're stoned, man. No, I'm not stoned, man. I got freaking nasty ass allergies, and they used to be really bad in Washington, and then I'd come here and they were okay. I didn't have any issues, but now I have some hardcore issues. Oh, here's Monograph. He's on. I'll run over and see his crap, because he's going to be talking about how exciting it is that Bitcoin's lost all this money. So all you people have bought into Bitcoin. He's just loving it. Oh, I love it. All you everyday citizen Joes that might have bought a couple coins. Maybe you bought a long time ago. I don't know. I did, but I never spent over $5,000 for a coin. So I mean, it's still sitting at what, 20 some. So it's like, okay, what do I care? I just you can see the trueness of a person. Oh, 30 grand. I don't look every 2 seconds, but $8 billion beggars. This is a stupid idiot. I'm so done with some of these people. It's just fear porn after fear porn after fear porn after fear porn. Nothing based on any biblical nothing. Nobody even cracks open their Bible. There's a few that do, but it's like, and then the ones that are cracking open their Bible, this is, everybody has such an agenda they're trying to push. I guess you could say the same about me, but my agenda is baptizing people. That's it. So I have one person I like that I know I want to baptize here pretty soon, but it just depends on how they feel about it. Fear sells. Yep. It's like all songs are based off of love, either longing for love, losing love, or being in love. That's it. Everything about everything is about those. It's about love. That's it. That's why God is love. If you want to know God, know what a broken heart is. No, Elon Musk has no clue, and he purposely manipulated the market. And in my opinion, Martha Stewart got thrown in prison for insider trading. And in my opinion, that is almost an aspect of insider trading, when you have so much power and you have so many followers that you can make a stupid tweet like that and you could destroy. And I think old Musk is gonna turn on him. And it's gonna go back up. I'm not worried about Bitcoin right now. That's not my God. Nothing's my God. I care less. Money's worthless. Look, right now, your dollar is worth half right now. If you're in the construction industry like me, let me tell you a story. Today, this morning, I did a job, right? It took me a half hour to do the job. Cost them about $150. You know why it cost them $150? Normally, I have a set rate, but I don't charge that here because it's a different area. I usually charge a lot less. And I kind of go, do I like you or I don't like you? Okay. So, but here's the thing with this job. I had it was 17 inches by 2 feet, right? 17 inches by 2 feet. I had to replace a thing in the floor. You know how much that wood cost me? A 4 by 2 foot piece of, it was 3/4, and then I had to shim everything to make it work, but it was a mess because they didn't have the flooring that I needed. And I was going to buy a full sheet for $100 and some. But that quarter of a sheet of plywood, right? A 3/4 sheet, 1/4 of a 3/4 sheet of plywood was $22, because the full sheet was $86. And last year, that full sheet was $40. And so your dollar you have in your pocket is only worth 50 cents. And no one's saying a damn thing. There are people finally saying things, but no one's really saying anything. Well, who is Israel? I'm talking to the church's Maximus chicken. So, anyways, going back to I'll get to Mr. Chicken here. I will, but I had to charge this guy more money. Here's another story about these guys. So first I go and look at the job yesterday, the day before yesterday, because I knew I had to go into town. And so when he called me on the phone, he says, "Oh, I need my flooring fixed, blah, blah, blah." I says, "Okay, I might need to buy some plywood to take out a part that was all water damaged, right?" So I said, "I'm going into town, so let me run over there and check it out." So I ran over there, knocked on the door, a guy opens, he shows me the area. I wasn't really paying too much attention to him. He's just, some dude, right? So whatever. I look at it, get what I need. I say, "Okay, tomorrow I'll go pick up some stuff. I'll be back the next day," which was today. So I come back there today. I knock on the door, and I thought it was the same dude from 2 days ago, right? And I wasn't really paying attention. I opened up the door. I said, "Hey, man, how's it going?" And I just immediately just start doing my job because that's how I am. I'll talk a little bit, chit chat, but that's usually while I'm working. So I went right in there, bam, bam, bam. I'm going to take out that floor, going to repatch it, get it ready for him to do what he needed to do. Then I finally realized it's not even the same dude. So there were the two queers living there, and which is not a problem. But here's the end result. I only charged them $110 because this costs like $20 for the stupid piece of wood. So they're happy, and I was happy. So, anyways, about the true elect supporting Israel at the moment, Church's Maximus Chicken. We are the children of Israel. The state of Israel was created for a purpose. The state of Israel was created by we know who created the state of Israel to then utilize that state of Israel to then make, if you say anything against what they're doing, you're against Israel and against the children of God, the chosen ones, the Jews, as they like to say. I've even had people tell me Moses was a Jew. And I'm like, no, Moses was of the tribe of Levi. He was a Levite. That's why he was a priest, and only Levites could be priests. But let's not get into understanding the word of God. Let's just, hey, drink the Kool-Aid, man. So the creation of the land of Israel is almost a mirror image. If you put it over Hollywood, it looks all the same. But the thing is that it was created as a withered fig tree, meaning it's fake. It has nothing to do with anything. The children of Israel are the children of Israel scattered all over the globe. So you have a lot of people that are over there that are fake. And they're all Canaanites. Not all of them. Some of them are the offspring of Cain, in my opinion. They are the tares. The wheat and the tare. A lot of tares in Israel, in my opinion. So I don't like that. I don't like how they treat the Palestinians. My grandma used to spend a lot of time over there. She'd be up in arms right now. I find it interesting how they were attacked on their birthday. In reality, like I said, it was May 14th or something like that. Around that time is when they were supposedly attacked. From what I understand, the Palestinians don't have any money. But however, Biden did give the Palestinians a bunch of money, so hey. But I don't think you can buy missiles that quick. I don't think they have missiles at the local hardware store, but I could be wrong. So they get a bunch of money and they go, "Hey, great." No, and I have a whole theory on that one too. You know, I wish I could share the screen. I would go to it myself, but if you go to, oops, somebody's hiding. There's somebody hiding. Do you think most of the Jews in Israel are Europeans? It's interesting how they just hid what you said, because maybe you said Israel and Jews, and they don't like that. Can you believe? Can you believe? Millie, they just hid that from you. I had to push the little button so people can see that. That's how the AI algorithm is working. So I might not be on here very long. They don't like it when people start really talking. But anyways, as about the sons of Cain, no, they did survive, and there's I'll read it here if you guys want me to read it. When you get into Genesis 6, right? At the end of Genesis 6, he's telling him to build the ark, right? But he's talking about okay, if you go to Genesis 6:19, and there of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort shall I bring unto the ark to keep them alive with thee, ye shall be male and female, right? So it's establishing two of every kind. And then it's talking about of all flesh. Well, what's considered flesh? Usually humans are considered flesh, but that's two of every kind. Of other clean animals, it was seven, right? I believe it was seven. Yeah. And if you read that, it's very interesting because it says flesh, but they don't talk about the things that creep, the birds and all it separates everything. Then it talks about the people with the breath of life in them. But it's already established that Noah and his sons and their wives were on there. And it tells you that they were on there. But then it goes and talks about of every man and woman that has the breath of life in them. So I've done a video on that a long time ago, but yeah, because if you go and read Genesis 6, 18, and go on from there. Then you go into 7 and read that, because now it starts to separate some stuff. And then you go into chapter 8, and at the very beginning, it's repeating things again, right? And that's, I personally believe, and even like that movie Noah, when it came out, remember a long time ago, 2014, I think, 2015, they had people on board the ark. In my opinion, they were. I just think that it said that Noah and his offspring were pure of their kind, meaning they hadn't intermixed with the fallen angels. They didn't take the jab. So those were the ones that were to replenish the earth, right? But there were two of the others of unclean. Because some people like to bring up this whole race thing. Oh, was Sham or Sheb or whatever, one of his kids that was created the black race and all this kind of crap. And it's like, no, has nothing to do with that. Those they were fine. They were on board too. But the story was about Noah. This is why there's so many other cultures have the story of the flood, and they have them surviving it. So, anyways, that's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. So I don't really force that down anybody's throat. So, anyway. Yeah, everything's the same. There's nothing new under the sun. So, but a lot. I did a video a long time ago about called 666 Rise of the Antichrist, which I wish I could. I wish I could be like some of these guys that write these books, but I don't write any books. But anyways, um, uh, the, hmm. Well, okay. So uh, in the 666 Rise of the Antichrist little blog I did, which I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's not the greatest stuff, but I knew there'd be an alien deception, and there is during about around this time. My feelings were that the Queen would step down, there'd be a financial collapse, and there'd be an alien kind of bringing out, and that's what Trump did. He said, "Oh, we got to release the information within 6 months," which is very interesting how he chose that. So 6 feet away, all this stuff. I mean, they mark themselves. But I still say there's redemption for everybody, even Biden. He'd have to repent and get baptized, but I doubt he's going to do that. I made a spoof a long time ago about Charles Manson. Charles Manson died in 2017, right? November 21st. I said, Charles Manson. Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's very quick. I said, Charles Manson gave his heart to Christ before he died. And I said that Charles Manson, he gave his heart to God before he died. And then my thing was, did he? And what would you say if he did? And would you have a problem seeing Charles Manson in heaven? I said there's redemption for everybody. Yeah, he was creepy. I had an opportunity to buy his life story. Yeah. Or not buy it because he legally couldn't sell it or something like that. But it was offered to me at one time. I knew a guy that was working with him on something. I can't remember what it was. Anyways. I don't think Jesus is back, no. No, when he comes back, it's to establish the kingdom for his father a day later, which is 1,000 years. I believe there's 2 millenniums. I have that theory too that kind of freaks people out, but I believe there was a millennium after on the seventh day when God rested. I think Satan is when he deceived mankind, and then God comes back and he sees how things are just destroyed, and he even warns Adam, because Adam, I think, was his own creation. I think God created with the angels. Let us create man in our image and our likeness. I believe he created with them. That included Lucifer and everything. So Lucifer will look just like Jesus, in my opinion. So, so God creates all mankind after the images. That's why the angels look like people, so on and so forth. The people look like angels. But I think when God rested, Satan deceived mankind and created a virus on the earth. That's why you haven't seen God on this earth. The only last time God was officially walking on the earth was in the garden with Adam, and that was a guarded territory by 2 cherubims. So, and at one time, Satan was a cherubim of God. So it's a whole whole concept around that. So Satan has but a short time. No, he has 3.5 years just before Christ returns and establishes his Father's kingdom. But just before God puts his feet back on the earth, that is when Satan's released for a short time again. That's after 1,000-year reign with Christ. And that's to totally and that is at that time, whoever follows Satan after they've heard the truth from Jesus for 1,000 years, and they choose to follow Satan at that time, God wants nothing to do with them. And that will be it. They'll be cast into the pit and be done. There'll be no part of them anymore. Then God's throne, his kingdom will be on this earth. His feet will come back to this earth. That's why a lot of pictures, you see the old ancient pictures, you never see angels touching the ground. It's one is that the ground holds the virus. Two is when you put your feet on the ground, then the world tries to own you via the laws of the land in which they think they own, maritime, admiralty laws, stuff like that. You talk the Enki and the other gods like that. Okay, here's what I feel. I believe if you go back to Genesis, on the sixth day they create man, and then what the writers did in the Bible was very little deceptive. They chose to. It's very interesting. If you go back to Genesis, right? You go Genesis 1 and 1:31, and God saw that everything that he had made was good, and the evening was the the sixth day. And then it goes to chapter 2. It's like, wait a minute. Chapter 2, they do this rehashing. And then they finally say, the seventh day he rested. Right? That's Genesis 2:2. Excuse me? So when people say, oh man, rewrote the Bible, yeah, they wrote it. They try to deceive a lot of people. There should have never been a separation. Chapter 1 should have been completed with the seventh day, but they didn't do that. So they tried to do a little bit of trickery in there. Because I think the Incas and the Anunnakis and all these things that people talk about, they came into play when Satan deceived a third of the angels. See, because Satan, just like Jesus will have the millennium, the next one, before God returns. Satan had the first millennium. You got to remember, Satan was a cherubim. He was God's favorite. So he came, he seduced man, he seduced the angels. They became gods to man, deceived mankind, while God was in his own little area, his garden, or while he was resting. He wakes up, he sees the deception on the earth. He's still in his garden. He never left his garden. He never left that protected covering. That's another thing, too, about the garden. The garden was like in its own womb, if you think about it, because it never rained. There's another thing, too, people don't realize. It never rained in the garden. Now, people will say, well, it never rained up until Noah's time. That's not true. It did rain because they knew about it. They knew about the boat. They laughed at it. They did all that kind of stuff. But it never rained in the garden. You know why it never rained in the garden? Because water has memory. That's why the Ark of the Covenant had never once touched water. There's never any water on the Ark of the Covenant whatsoever. Ever. When it rained, the water parted. When they went through water, it parted. Water never touched the Ark of the Covenant. That's why Moses is named Moses, drawn from the water. And that's why Jesus was baptized in the River Jordan at the exact same spot where the Ark of the Covenant came through with Joshua. And the River Jordan is the water that comes off the Mount Hermon, which is the landing place of the fallen angels. So they corrupted all the land and they corrupted the water that came from those mountains. So Jesus said, oh, okay, all right, all right, I'll take care of you, buddy. So he goes right down there at the very end of that spot of that river in which they think they own and that divides the land of Israel. And Jesus is baptized in the very same spot the ark came through on dry land. And that's why the sea, the whatever sea that's after that, the Dead Sea, it's not really a Dead Sea. That sea holds so much salt that salt is utilized as fertilizer to grow food all over the world. It's considered some of the best fertilizer in the world. Yep. Once you start tying all these things together, it's just amazing. So the salt, the Dead Sea, so to speak, right there at Israel, where you could just float in it. It's just so the buoyancy of it is such, right? There's not really any life there. Life is coming back to it now. So, but that was said that in the end time that life would come back to the Dead Sea. But I think as soon as Jesus was baptized, I think that's when it became the Dead Sea. And there's a reason behind all that. Don't ask me the reason, but there's got to be a reason behind it. And then if you look at, like I said, Israel is an aspect of Hollywood in California. Check out the Salton Sea down there by, Joshua Tree and that whole area down there. I'm not a big California guy, so I keep forgetting, but it's very, very interesting how they're very similar in their layout of land. So, anyways, anything else? But the short time that you're talking about is when he's released after a millennium, I believe. But it does say as a short time too, because he's got 3.5 years that he's going to reign on the earth, and some people say that was shortened to 6 months or something like that. But I don't know. I don't follow that theory because the witnesses. I don't know. They're supposed to have 3.5 years in a third day, so I know that's a whole 33 in a third, but 33 and a third. People utilize numerologies for different reasons, but there's just aspects of completion with that in a whole, if you see everything as a circle. So what do you think is already done and happened? The millennium? I don't think so. Have you lived here? Have you lived for 1,000 years? I'm just asking. The millennium, look, the millennium is Christ's time to teach. Christ was here. We were born during Satan's short time. Really? How old are you? His short time. I don't know. I don't think we've gone past the millennium, dude. I don't think so. Jesus is not here. I don't see him. I can't go to him. There's no kingdom. There's no inner gate and there's no outer gate. I don't see that. I don't see the pit. If there's a millennium, there was a pit. Also, I don't believe that there's anybody going to be born during the millennium. There's no dying and there's no birth during the millennium. So how does that work? Just saying, not dogging on you, but you got four, I think. First day of saints, first day is 1,000 years on there. Okay, I guess I'm back. I don't know. Something's going on with my internet here. When Satan was bound by Christ Christ came here for a specific reason. That was the blood. And there's so much. There's aspects of water, the aspects of blood, and Satan's not here. He's not even here yet. I believe Satan's bound in the planet Saturn. That's why there's rings. I know there's other rings on other planets, but he didn't. There's. Okay, so here's the thing with all that stuff, and I've heard that before from other people that believe the whole what do they call it? The whole Mandela effect, right? Thing. God is the author of time. So the only reason time exists is because of the fall of Satan. So trib done happened. I don't think so. Do you think the tribulation has happened? If you could take me to the pit and let me see inside it, that would be great. So if you read what's happening now, today, and go read the first part of Revelation or even Ezekiel or whoever you want to read, Daniel has a lot of stuff about the end times. Do you think we're at the beginning of Revelation, or you think we're at the end of Revelation? 850 years have passed. So 1,000 years, 850 down has passed. 1,000 years is with the day of the Lord. So then God's returning when? Chapter 20 of what? Revelation? Nope. 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 Has a third of the sea been destroyed? A third of the ships been destroyed? Has a third of the earth been destroyed? Has a third of the people been destroyed? They not been able to buy or sell without the mark? Or do you already have the mark? Has the fall of Babylon occurred? Satan's bound for 1,000 years. So you think that Satan has been bound for 1,000 years. So if he had been bound for 1,000 years, then why did Christ come? Because that was what, 2,000 years ago? So that doesn't even make sense, because that's been 2,000 years of recorded history, and Satan's bound for 1,000 years. So that would mean that Jesus was crucified 1,000 years ago. Yeah, I don't know where you get all that stuff, but it doesn't make any sense. So, sorry, not buying that one. Not buying that one. Because there's a lot of people on this earth right now that are going to be in the kingdom that's established during the millennium, and they will preach to those who, it's not like they don't quite make it, but they just didn't get it. So, anyways. Oh, my allergies are killing me. Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen him, so I haven't seen Jesus. Where is he at? It's kind of like if he says he's in the desert, don't go. So obviously, well, where? How do you say that he's back when it warns you about all the false Christ and where they say he is and where he isn't? Well, we weren't here. Okay. I don't see. I don't know where you're getting your theology, but it's not matching up. See, God makes sense. God God does everything. There's a purpose for everything, and there's a reason for everything. And things don't mesh. So it's just that there's it's like music. I tell people it's a sheet of music. If you're just looking at this, if you're looking at the C, you're looking at C, right? And let's just say scale. You're looking at a major scale. You're missing all the other notes. You're just seeing notes, unless you're just going ding, ding, ding. That's it. Of course, that's not a C. But anyways, it's more like a D. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. But anyways, so uh, the thing is, you're seeing there's multiple notes that are happening for this orchestration to be played. So it's kind of like song key. With that thinking, it's out of key, in my opinion. And I know what's out of key because I sing out of key all the time, as some people would say. You're a little flat on that. You're a little flat on that. You're a little pitchy. Yeah, it's intentional. I always like telling people that. I get the hardcores and all this kind of stuff. Again. It's kind of a little pitchy. That's intentional. You're intentionally pitchy? Yeah, I was intentionally pitchy. You got to understand what the song's about, and that's why it's like that. That's why some songs have these sporadic guitar solos and stuff like that. It's because that's what I wanted it to be. That told the story that I wanted to tell. Kind of like the uh, kind of like well, what's his name? Uh, oh, I can't remember his name. Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa, the Christian music, I guess. We have to live the same either way to keep naming the book. If you don't have, uh, uh, yeah, that's the the name of the book is a different thing, but the person I've never read anything about them. You should do a video on that, the Sumerians, or give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about that. I haven't read anything on that. The Persians and the Sumerians. I'm pretty sure a lot of them had tie-ins um, with just it's just I'm sure there's a lot of things about that that are the same. Everything is it's almost like it's equal. It's like that one Jonathan Kleck guy, that idiot. It's as above, so below. Everything is as above, so below. Of course it is. Everything that man does is just a copy of what God's created. They just try to reverse engineer everything. We don't create anything. I mean, we create other beings, I guess, through children, but we are not the creator. We're still a creation of the creator. So there's always things that are going to be are going to have certain aspects of uh, a mirror image. Yeah, that Clark guy. Every time one of his videos come up, it's like I just see the thumbnail of it, and I'm going, does this guy spend all day on this crap? I mean, you really want your mind filled up with that stuff? For me, it would be like, I don't want to be. We have been lied to for all our lives and all our families' lives. Okay. Um, Lied to about what? I don't know what you've been lied to about, but I guess I have a wait and see attitude. It's kind of like you get too caught up in all this stuff. Um, you you get to that um, you get to the point where people will sometimes say that everybody's going to hell. Everybody's going to, and you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do, it's like, okay, if we've all been lied to about history, well, then we're all screwed. Why are we even having this conversation? Why are we even trying to do anything? We should just blow ourselves up and have at it and take all the drugs we want in the world and have sex with everything you possibly want to and just go to town 24/7. You know, if it's all a lie, right? I mean, well, why bother even bothering? You know, I sure the hell don't want to. I got somebody who wants me to tile their front entrance of their house, and I think the lady's a nice lady, but I'm pretty sure might have issues with her because she seems like one of those kind. And I usually don't take those kind of jobs, but I feel sorry for the woman because she's been screwed over so many times. But I sure the hell don't want to do that tile job. No, whoever said the Bible is 100% true. From what perspective are you trying to base that off of? And what is truth? You have to separate the word. It says rightly divide the word. There's some stories in there that are a perspective story. They're from Luke's perspective. They're from Mark's perspective, Matthew's perspective. They're from Malachi's perspective, as a prophet Sharon or Gad's or even other people besides King David or even Moses's perspective of the first 5 chapters of the Bible. It's about learning how to tie them all together and how to see how it all fits like a puzzle. It's like the whole thing with baptism. I've yet to meet anybody that kind of gets this whole baptism thing like I do. Could mean that I'm crazy though too, but who knows? History taught by men is a lie. What history am I being taught by man? That 1776 we had a revolution against the Queen or something, or when we landed on Plymouth Rock, or I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'm only 52, man. December 28th, 29th, 1968 is when I came into this world. So I know nothing. And I really can't even remember hardly any of my childhood anyway, so I can't even remember yesterday. There's a lot of things that are made up. History is made up. That's why you have to live your own life and do your own thing and not get too caught up with stuff. Just read your word and you'll be fine. Just have your own relationship with God. We don't have to get caught up in forcing people to believe exactly the way we do, or there's freedom. There's more freedom when I don't want to say when you don't care, but there's more freedom when you just focus on your own family and try to do your own thing. I have so many people in my life that they're so worried about what everybody else thinks of them. They're so worried about image. It's pathetic. I post this chick sometimes on my Twitter page, and she does this Russian America. She makes fun of Russian women, how they're all money hungry and stuff like that. It's like, and how they're fake and all they care about is the Gucci bags and what they drive and all this kind of crap. And so I post a lot of her stuff because she's so right on. I was married to a woman like that. All she cared about was image and what other people thought of her. So she cared about money. She wanted money. I had money, so she was happy for a little while. But then it was like, I had land, the things that people long for right now. Those are things that I had, and I could care less what other people think about me. Well, J. Rad Senior, I think. My numbers is easy to find, so if you have anything, but God showed me this truth. Okay, whatever. Um, well, the time will tell. All things are told. Time tells all. All things are told in time. That's how I believe. The truth will always find its way to the top, and then you'll see it. It's just like what we're seeing in everything right now. Everything's being uncovered. Everything's being uncovered. Just give it a little time. But, you know, yeah. 2025, yeah. Yeah, we just got to keep on keeping on. So crap is going to hit the fan in 2025. I don't know. Yay. It's pretty much hit the fan, I guess now. I guess I guess at that point in time people were doing their finger painting, right? With it. You know. Yeah, things are happening now, but I don't know. I don't know about anything. It's kind of like I haven't hoarded money. I haven't hoarded food. I haven't done anything. I'm just going to rely on God. If he can feed Elijah with a crow, he can feed us. Or we just die off. We'd be better off. Some of us might go, oh, I might, I could freaking have a stroke right now and be dead. Live YouTube. They probably wouldn't give me a strike for that though. Or they would give me a strike. Oh, we're suspending your account now. You died on a live stream from a stroke. So my family has strokes, they all die of strokes. I should do that. uh, uh, yeah. I'm not attached to anything, but I wish the best for my kids, but I gotta get out to California to see my daughter, but I guess I probably have to go out there and get my son. He's coming back from Uzbekistan with who knows. Mom sent him off and now he's coming back and she didn't want him. So it's like, okay, well, that sounds like a good mother. I don't want him. I don't want him. You've never wanted him. That's why I raised him. Oh, jeez. My life. I remember I had this guy who's supposedly a prophet. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he was. A long time ago. I was like 20 or 19 at this church, and this guy goes, "Oh, there's a storm coming for you." And he was right. They had a storm. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You caught me live because I'm on where am I at? I'm in Arkansas time. You're Washington time. Which I probably have to come back up to Washington again. I got a lady that wants me to redo her kitchen and remodel her apartment. But she's kind of cheap, so I don't know. And it's right downtown Seattle too, right next to the convention center. It's like, if you got like 20 grand budget, maybe I can maybe do something, but I don't know. No, so my ex-wife is just, oh man, she's something else, I tell you. Yeah, you must be on the East Coast, man. 11:44. I'm at Arkansas time, 10:44, something like that. 10:44, good buddy. Yeah. How is Washington? Yeah, you Texas time. Texas time. I gotta head down to Texas maybe. I gotta figure out where I want to move to, but I guess I don't have to really move, but I want to be closer to my daughter, but I don't know. Yeah, well, I haven't seen any latest reports from what's his name? Governor Jay Inslee. Jay Inslee. Hey, Washingtonians out there. He just crap spews out of his mouth every 2 seconds. I can't believe no one's gotten rid of that guy. But just like Biden, don't they have guards and fences still around the Capitol? Oh, yeah. I don't even know how he won. I still don't know anybody that voted for the guy. But it's the same thing with Biden. But I do know people that voted for him, though. But I don't know anybody up in Washington that voted for Jay Inslee. Bunch of dead people, I'm sure, but yeah, they're gonna do the whole state income tax. That whole state's done. I don't know how you can have a state income tax there. I mean the taxes and property taxes are already so high. It's just pathetic. But I guess it's like that everywhere. Yeah, it's all over. We don't have any true men and women of God anymore in leadership. So they're all scumbags. But anyways, I'm pretty beat, tired, and then of course I've got the whole my eyes are just killing me. So I should probably get what they voted for who? Oh, Gavin Newsom, you mean? Guy in California? I don't know. My ex-wife moved down there to California. I don't know why. It's stupid. Texas ain't bad, but your governor folded. He just like the governor of Arkansas folded. The only one that stood up is the woman up in South Dakota. She's the only one that had any balls. It was a woman. Can't remember her name, but I don't know. Their sins will all find them out at some point in time. So I'm just hoping it's sooner than later. What? There's so many weird stuff that's online. I'm watching some lady try to steal some kids right out in front of people. Wow, interesting. Anyways, the world of Twitter. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll all talk at you later. I'm pretty much dead. So, um, yeah. Hug your kids, call your parents, go see a neighbor, repent, and be baptized. Nice talking to you all. Nighty night. All right, see you. Bye.